Hello everybody, welcome back to Matty Reacts, the channel where we take a look at things we never watched or listened to before. And we've got another President song today. We've done, I think, three President songs now, right? We did is it In the Name of the Father? We did Rage, and we did let me have a look. Fearless. And now we're doing Destroy Me. I think there is an EP coming, if it's not already out. I've not kept really up to date with this. I knew this song was out because I've seen it pop up from other reactors that I subscribe to on YouTube. I haven't watched the videos. I don't know anything about the song. I don't know if it's similar to anything we've looked at in the past from President. I don't even know who the singer of the band is. So we're going to take a look at Destroy Me by President and see if we continue along the line of liking everything they put out. Got the logo again. Oh, it's a nice sound. It feels like there's less processing on the voice in this one. I think all the others, there's been quite a lot of vocal processing, at least in the verses. And I think they've kind of come to the point, the conclusion that if they're doing that to try and disguise the voice, there's no point. I don't think they were doing it to disguise the voices, because I think it was just obvious anyway. Even if they're never going to confirm it, I think it's quite clear. So yeah, quite nice. I like the cadence of the verses so far. Nice tribal style drum beat on the toms. I like that this video is a bit... This feels more like just your standard music video of a band in a room playing. There's obviously still some other stuff going on, but a lot of the other videos have been quite sort of double meaning, maybe a bit of lore. But this feels a little bit more straightforward, which I quite like. It's nice. But I also quite like that they've gone back, because they missed the last song they did, Rage, didn't have the lyrics on screen, whereas the first two did. And I like that they've gone back to having the lyrics on the screen. And that feels like, you know, their kind of thing. And I think they, you know, if they're going to carry on doing it, it's quite cool. That's what I was going to say. It's quite cool that it's at like a podium as well. You know, given the band is like inherently, with their name of President, they're intended to come across kind of politically. Having him speak or sing at the podium is quite cool. Ooh. Is this gonna be a breakdown? That's nasty. That's very Bring Me. They really like ending their songs with like a really stripped back acoustic moment. They've done that on, I think, 2 or 3 of them now. It works. Yeah, I really like that. I think that kind of was a middle ground of everything that they've released so far, right? It was a bit of everything, but I quite liked it. You could still hear the metalcore Bring Me influences, although not as strong as in some of the earlier ones. I think it was a really good song. I think, you know, they would have to do something bad for me to not want to check out their EP or album whenever it gets here now. I just don't think they will. You know, I mentioned about the name being present and them, there being an sort of some kind of politicization there. I don't think that as a band they are making any political statements. I just want to sort of make that clear. I think that they're actually just using the iconography and you know, of a presidential figure in that sort of way. I actually think they talk a lot more about religion than they do politics, which is interesting because I'm not sure, from what I know of the lead singer, that he is religious. So it's kind of like a cool way to go if you're not religious, to go down this route. But then I suppose there are authors that write religious characters in novels that aren't religious themselves. You don't have to be religious to get the arguments right. Like, I'm an atheist, but I understand some of the arguments that that people who believe in a god of some description would make. It wouldn't be, you know, beyond me to write from that perspective, and it wouldn't be beyond someone who's as capable of, someone who reminds me of Charlie Simpson and co, to write from that perspective either. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next, because I think they could easily lean into the more electronic side of things, right? It's not necessarily that they have to stick with the hard, heavy stuff, although that is working for them. They could lean a lot more into the sort of electronic side of metalcore, and that kind of excites me a little bit, because then that will make it a bit more poppy. And I like things when there's just a hint of pop in there, best. I mean, I like stuff like this as well. But, you know, when it's this kind of stuff mixed with a little bit of pop sensibilities, that's like peak Matty. So we'll see what they come out with. But yeah, thank you for dropping by, and I'll see you again in another reaction video very soon.